And I'm sure you're all wanting to know how a, I think this was like $500 fuzz sounds through a $290 guitar. Let's find out. Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I gotta say, I think you're a little underrated, a little underappreciated. But I want you to know, I get you. And I hope that you know your own worth as well. Well, I'm here today with a S-style guitar from Donner DST-400. Solid alder body. It's actually quite a handsome guitar. Really nice finish on it. You can see the wood grain underneath the finish there. As far as the frets, they're kind of like a vintage style fret, so a little thinner. You will likely feel a little bit of fingers touching the fretboard. As far as the fretboard, I think it is fine. It is a little dry. The back of the neck is a satin finish. I really, really like that. I think the headstock looks kind of cheap. It's the name is just like printed on there, and that always looks a little bit cheap to me, but no huge fault with that. Vintage style tuning machines, that's my personal preference, and an HSS configuration here. And you can split that bridge pickup by pulling on that knob. I will say that knob is extremely difficult to pull, and it may be difficult to do so mid-song, so please consider that if that's something that's important to you. It's not particularly important to me, but it's not as easy as like a push-push or other push-pull knobs that I've encountered. So I'm gonna stop yapping for a minute, and I'm going to play this guitar clean first through the Benson Chimera plugin by Mixwave. Then I have a few effects I'm going to turn on. Not a long series of effects, but a couple dirt, just so you can hear how it sounds. But yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to start with the neck. No. I'm going to start with the bridge position. I'm going to start with the humbucker, and then I'll split it. But I'll tell you when I'm doing things, so. I'm going to start. Bridge and middle, with the bridge still being a humbucker. All right, let's do the bridge with the bridge split. Bridge middle. Middle. Neck, middle. And the neck by itself. So one other thing I will mention before I get into my thoughts on how the pickups sound is this switch, this 5-way switch. It is I wouldn't call it sticky, but it is very firm. And it's just, you don't want it loose either, but I just feel like a lot of things on this guitar, just like the tensions are wrong. This, like this push-pull, it works. You don't want it loose, but it's just too tight. This, you don't want it loose, but it just feels a little bit too tight. And I would say the same about the vibrato unit, but I think that I can fix that by changing the number of springs in the back or something like that. I don't know. I don't use Strat trims. As far as how the pickups sound, I think they sound fine. They sound like nothing special. Have they exceeded my expectations? Probably. I didn't really have any. They sound like single coils, but I just feel like they are missing something that's a little bit hard to put my finger on. So, like, yeah, that's all I got to say about the pickups. So obviously I was playing some chord stuff. I could probably play some nice little jazzy things on this as well. I prefer that with the Bigsby. Yeah, and maybe some little twangy stuff as well. Mistakes were mine, not the fault of the guitar. But I find this guitar really easy to play, surprisingly so. And actually, I've been sitting on this guitar for a few months. The first time I played it, I really didn't like it. The feel of it, specifically. I think it's quite a nice guitar. It's set up with a nice low action that's not too low at all. And I just had no complaints really about the feel. It's a skosh on the heavy side, but not really that bad. So yeah, so far I'm impressed. But let's see how it sounds with some effects. I'm going to retune actually. All right. That didn't stay in tune great. It wasn't terribly off. It was a top off situation after using the vibrato arm a little bit. I will say I don't like these tuning pegs like at all. You had to turn them a bit to even catch the string in a few cases. Not great, but that's cheaper hardware is definitely what you would expect with something like this. But I have some effects pedals, friends. I have the Bliss Factory, a collaboration between Chase Bliss and ZVX Effects. And yes, that did cost more than about 2 of these, which, by the way, these are under $300. Not bad. I have the Ground Control Bread Oath, and I have the Blues by Caroline Guitar Company, which is what I am going to start with. On the bridge humbucker. Bridge single coil. Middle bridge, still single coil. I don't really like doing the middle with the bridge when the bridge is a humbucker. I don't think it sounds great. Middle. Neck middle. really like the range of an HSS Strat. I think it's kind of the ideal configuration for a Strat. And I love how much different a bridge humbucker sounds opposed to the split bridge with the middle. So this is a split bridge with the middle. And then just the bridge humbucker. They take the gain completely differently, and I think that's really neat. All right, I'm gonna go to the bread oath now. And just gonna go through the same positions in the same order because why not? And I'm sure you're all wanting to know how a, like, I think this was like $500 fuzz sounds through a $290 guitar. Let's find out. This is a wild buzz. Well, that was that. Well, this again was the DST-400 by Donner. I came into this video thinking I was just going to tear this guitar to pieces, but the truth is I do think it's a really good beginner instrument. There are a lot of beginner instruments that I personally think are just trash, embarrassing, and will serve no other purpose except to dissuade someone from playing guitar. And I have a personal vendetta against those instruments. This, I can safely say, is not one of them. Is this a guitar that you can grow with? I don't think so. Like, I don't think you're going to want to take this on a lot of stages. Like, the tuning, it's fine, but it's still not as good as other guitars in slightly higher price ranges I've checked out. Obviously, you can replace the tuning machines, no problem. I don't see any, like, major fit or finish issues. Let's talk about the frets, because they are actually really well crowned by my estimation, and a really smooth fret ends. Honestly, I would very much recommend this to somebody starting out. So thank you to Donner for sending me this. I don't know if they ever expected me to do a video. I don't know if they're keeping track, but really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. I value and treasure you, and I mean that. A lot of people, every once in a while I should say, I get a comment that says, I know you're joking. I'm not joking. I'm serious. And keep being yourself. Keep owning your own self-worth, because nobody can diminish that except for you. Everybody out there, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/get offset. I'm not going to redo that. We have a couple of options. The $5 option is my personal favorite to get you access to our exclusive Discord server. And that's pretty darn neat. We have merch at galsetpodcast.com/shop, including a shirt with my face on it. There are 3 of those floating around in the world, and my parents have no idea why anyone would ever buy that. So please continue to confuse my parents. Well, until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.